بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. Jazakallah khair for returning for our class. We'll continue inshallah as we do weekly. And we will continue on Ayah 219. I ask Allah to grant us beneficial knowledge and to make us of those who apply the knowledge that we have learned, and to not make us of those who learn things and put it aside and leave it aside. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسألونك عن الخمر والميسر قل فيهما إثم كبير ومنافع للناس وإثمهما أكبر من نافعهما ويسألونك ماذا ينفقون قل العفو كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات لعلكم تتفكرون. So they ask you about intoxicants, about wine and gambling. Say, there is great evil in both, as well as some benefit for people, but the evil outweighs the benefit. They also ask you, O Prophet, what they should donate. Say, whatever you can spare. This is how Allah makes His revelations clear to you, believers. So perhaps you may reflect. Another translation is, they ask you about wine and gambling. Say, in them is great sin, and yet some benefit for people, but their sin is greater than their benefit, and they ask you what they should spend. Say the excess, beyond needs. Thus Allah makes clear to you the verses of revelation that you might give thought. So here we're talking about this week about the haram things, about alcohol and gambling. And the story came about where Umar radiallahu anha, he asked the Prophet ﷺ, or he asked Allah, actually, he asked Allah directly. He said, oh Allah, make clear the matter of intoxicants, of wine, of alcohol. And so Allah revealed this verse, and this verse in Surah Baqarah. And so in this, it's a soft prohibition. Allah is just saying that there is evil in it, and the evil outweighs the benefit. Allah acknowledges there's benefit, but the evil outweighs it. And so it wasn't very clear to Umar radiallahu anhu. So after some time, he asked again, oh Allah, make clear the matter of alcohol. And so then Allah revealed in Surah Nisa, explaining that it was prohibited. But it still wasn't clear to him. And so he asked again, oh Allah, make clear the matter of alcohol. And so Allah revealed in Surah Nisa, will you not abstain from alcohol? And at each time when it was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ would have someone go and recite it to Umar radiallahu anhu. And that the time when it came that will you not abstain, Umar radiallahu anhu said, we will abstain. We will abstain. And so he then made it also part of his command to his people and around him to stop as well. And here we see Allah is acknowledging that there is benefit in it for people. So when they come out with studies and medical reports saying that alcohol is good for you, red wine or whatever wine is good for you, has a lot of health benefits and it helps your heart, we don't deny that. We don't say, well, it's haram, so all of it is absolutely evil and bad for you. And this can apply to many things in life. This becomes a method for us to realize that even in evil things, there are some benefits. And don't let the benefit of something that is evil fool you into thinking that it's okay for you to do. And many times we make the justification for the evil things that are in something, the benefit that are in evil things, as for a reason to do those evil things. I'm only talking to this guy because, he helps me with dawah, and if he wakes me up in the morning for Fajr, he texts me in the morning to get up for Fajr. But it's haram. You're free mixing with the opposite gender who is not your mahram. The haram of it outweighs the benefit of him waking you up for Fajr. Get an alarm clock. You were waking up for Fajr before you even met this person. And if you weren't waking up for Fajr before you met this person, that's a problem you need to fix without this person. Your deen should never ever be hinged on someone else. Not if someone else practices, then I will practice. If they help me, then I will be a good Muslim. If they encourage me, then I will be a good Muslim. That should never be the case, because people come and go in your lives. And if you hinge it on someone, if they are no longer in your life, will you not be a good Muslim? Would you leave Islam because of someone? And if that is the case, then were you ever Muslim? Were you ever doing it really for the sake of Allah? If you were doing it for the sake of Allah, you would not be needing people's help. Yeah, it's one thing surrounding yourself with good people, and that encourages you naturally. But surrounding yourself with good people must be in a halal way. You cannot extract halal and benefit through haram. And this is what Allah is teaching us in this ayah. That even though there is benefit in it, there is good in it, you cannot extract the benefit out of the haram in it, because the haram outweighs the benefit. People use it for health benefits. People use it for waking up and then having, a jolt of energy in their brains. People benefit by selling it, and so on and so forth. So there is benefit in it. And if you just focus on those benefits without looking at the harm, it will cause a lot of problems. So here we're also taught to look at the situation as a whole, not to be desirous towards something just because we have a bias towards it. Step back and look at the whole situation. And this is what makes Muslims wise. This is what differentiates us from other people. And it should. It should be the case for us. We have the Quran teaching us our habits and our ways of thinking simply by reading the Quran and understanding what Allah is saying to us, and taking that as a model for the way we look at things and our perspectives in life. Allah is telling us that it has benefit, but the evil is greater. So it means that we must look at it in a wholesome manner, not just part of it. And so whenever an issue comes to us and we want to know whether we should engage in it or not, or we should refrain from it, we have to look at the whole picture. Don't take one side, an emotional side sometimes, or a biased side, and run with it. We are taught simply by these few words that we should look at the whole picture before making a decision. Because Allah's decision on this situation is by the whole matter. Yes, there is benefit. People do use it for benefit. And He is acknowledging that there is benefit. But the evil is greater than the benefit. And now, because the evil is greater from the benefit, it is required for us to refrain from it. And that is the metric we use to decide things in our lives. Not everything is completely, fully, absolutely evil and 100% wrong. You will find benefit in some of the wrong things that people do. And you might find difficulty in things that you are required to do. And the inverse is true. And that helps people as well. When they find it difficult to fast, when they find it difficult to establish whatever it is that Allah wants them to do, because they've faced some challenges, if they apply this rule and they sit back and say, look, let me look at the whole picture. What is it that Allah intended for me to do here? What benefit do I get out of this? And when they see that the benefit far outweighs the difficulties that they go through, there is nothing evil in anything that Allah has ever ordained for us to do. Nothing ever evil. Difficulty, maybe. We might go through hardships, yes. Because that is the test to see whether we will do it or not. Will you do it when it's easy? Sure. Everyone can do it when it's easy. But who will do it when it's hard? Who will do it when it's 4 o'clock in the morning to Hajj? Who will do it when it's giving charity when, things are tough? Who will do it when fasting is a long, long day? Who will do the extra fasting in the summer days when the days are very, very long? And that's the testament of your faith. That is the currency of your iman. That when it's difficult, you still do it. Because if it was easy, and everybody would do it. The Muslim, the non-Muslim, everyone can do it. So don't let the difficulty of a situation prevent you from the great benefit from it. Just like the benefit of a harmful situation should not cause you to be involved in the great evil of it. So in just these few words, we derive such great wisdom and such great action plan for us in our lives when we're looking at spouses, when we're looking on how to raise our children, when we're dealing with our spouses, when we're dealing with our parents, when we're dealing with our relationship with Allah, and we want to do something for Allah and we find difficulty and we say, but no, but there's greater benefit in it. And so remembering this key point, and that to look at the whole picture and to weigh the options on things that are optional for us, not the things that are already established as haram. There's no question about that we stay away from that completely. And there's no question about that which Allah has made obligatory. We accept that without thinking about it, without seeing where is the benefit, where is this, except if we have some difficulty in applying it, so then we can tell ourselves, it's okay, we can do it. But when there's optional situations, this is a key point to have. Someone's choosing a spouse, and no one is going to find 100% everything they want in the other person. And that's the key thing. You look at the whole person. Is there greater benefit in this person? Or is there harm? And how much of a harm? How great of the harm? What kind of harm? Is this something we can deal with? So this is a key point, that through just this one ruling, we have a lifelong map on how to establish things. Continuing on. They also ask you, O Prophet, what they should donate. Say, whatever you can spare. This is how Allah makes His revelations clear to you, believers. So perhaps you may reflect. So they asked the Prophet when a man came to the Prophet Muhammad and said, I have a dinar. He wants to give it in charity. And the Prophet said, spend it on yourself. So he said, I have another dinar. And the Prophet said, spend it on your wife. And he said, I have another dinar. And the Prophet said, spend it on your children. And then he said, I have another dinar. And the Prophet said, then you know best where to spend it, meaning on which charity to give it to, where you want to give it to. It's up to you where you want to give it to. So the key point here is that, yes, give charity, but don't forget your people. Don't forget yourself. Allah does not want depravity for His people. He doesn't want you to be in poverty for the sake of others. Establish your family, establish yourself, then your family, those relatives around you, and then give out to other people. We have a very kind of very loose situation the way we have things today. We have many families that their relatives are struggling or having difficulty. But a rich relative will give money to Zimbabwe or Sudan or somewhere across the nation or across the globe, around the globe. And I'm not saying not to give there, but you have to first give it in order. Everything is in an order. Allah is orderly. This universe runs in an orderly fashion. This universe was not made haphazardly. Everything has its beautiful fashion and everything is in an orbit. The planets are in orbit for a reason. And so Islam has an orderly fashion. Anything that is disorderly, you'll find a lot of fake people coming and trying to teach Islam. Fake Mahdi, fake all these things, and you'll find them very disorderly. You'll find them very haphazard. I don't mean in their organizational skills in their office or so on. I mean in their message and what they want people to do. And how they give out their message and how they are themselves. Allah is not haphazard, or He's not, just wants people to go and give charity to anyone, anywhere. Everything that comes from Allah has a method and a way. Why? Because it comes from the greatest of greatest wisdoms. Allah has the highest degree of wisdom. So it must be with great wisdom. Our religion comes from someone, a being with the highest degree of wisdom. There's no foolery in here. There's no game playing. There's no joking. There's no 3-in-1 and I don't know, but I can't explain, but you must have faith. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't even jive with the blueprint of the whole universe. This understanding, many religions and many different belief systems, they don't jive with the universe. They don't make sense. It does not look, when you have an artist and they have a way of painting and they have a way of, people go and they recognize, oh, this is from Van Gogh and this is from there and this and then they have the key marks in here and this is how he usually does things and that's how he makes those strokes and he usually uses these kind of colors and paints and whatever metrics they use to understand which painting is from who. There are key elements that they see that are a pattern in recognizing the artwork of those people. And similarly, you find Allah says for us to look around and see, look at the the universe, look at the plants, look within yourselves, look in your bodies, look in how your systems work. And you will find that it is from the greatest of wisdoms the way things are running. Things are logical and reasonable, so much so you can depend on it. You can depend on gravity. You can depend on the fact that you're going to walk on the ground. You can depend on the fact that there's going to be weathers and different systems, and there's so much dependability in this world that is based on logic and reasoning. And so Allah tells us to look around, to find Him, look at His work, what He has done. And then someone comes and says, well, there's three in one, but we don't understand. It's illogical, unreasonable. How is it that the one who made so much stability for us to the point that we are standing on earth, on the ground, without flying out into the universe because there is gravity, and we're able to live our lives, we're able to build homes, we're able to do things based off of this mechanism that Allah made on this earth, that we're now going to say, well, yeah, what's from Him, He is actually unreasonable. He took his son, he even had a son, and then He took him and killed him for you people. That's not even a system that you would employ in your own home. You would not even do that to your own children. Take one of your child and say, well, I'm going to slaughter you, or not even slaughter. Astaghfirullah. And say, I will punish you for all the punishments for all my children. Whatever any of my children have done, because I love all my children, I will take one child and punish them for all the wrongs that my other children have done. This parent would be taken to CPS or ACS or taken into the state and say, are you okay? We'll probably take your kids away from you. It's not even acceptable to the people who project this upon Allah. They will not accept it from the people, but they will accept it from a God and say that that's their belief system. You will not find anyone doing that in their business. It is not a business strategy. It's not how you run a company. I'm going to take one employee, and one employee is going to take the burden of all the mistakes of all employees. Nobody's going to be an employee then. Everyone's going to be afraid to be that one employee. You can't even run a company like that. So how does it make sense to have a religion like that? No. The religion from Allah is the same blueprint as the universe. It makes sense, yes. How Allah made the ecosystem, how He made the circulatory system, how He made all these systems, the solar system. And then He gave us Islam. And so it must have the same kind of understanding. There is a system, there is a way, there's a method to do things. And if we don't do those things, if we don't do it in the method that Allah wants us to do it, then we will find difficulty in our lives. It will be jumbled up. We will find fragmentation. He only tells us what's good for us, for our benefit. And He gets nothing out of it. We get everything out of it. So He tells us to take care of yourself first, and then your family, and those that are close to you and relatives, and then the other people. Someone can say, well, what's happening in Gaza right now, what's happening? Yes. Give to people in Gaza, but also give to the people around you. Don't forget the people around you. If you're going to give there, make sure you have family members that are taken care of. Make sure you are taking care of the people that are under you, under your care, under your responsibility. You will be asked. Someone can say, well, how could you say this? I would rather give all my funds towards the people who are suffering the most around the world. No one can stop you from doing that. But will it cause fragmentation in the Ummah? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. We'll have pockets of people suffering around us and other people suffering over there. It's a very disorganized situation. And I'm all for giving Gaza and I'm all for giving the people abroad. I give and I tell people to give and we should give. But there is a method to give. And then when you give the people, you must also be aware of the people around you. You must also be aware of the people around you. You must be aware of them first. And so Allah says, give what you can spare. So this is a guidance for us to not forget ourselves. We're not a religion of self-effication where you forget ourselves to the point of giving to others. A person can prefer others from themselves. That's not a problem. But Allah does not demand it of us. Take care of your family. Be a strong family unit. If you are a strong family unit, the society builds from that. And we have one strong family unit, you have another strong family unit, and another one, and another one, and another one. And everyone is taking care of the people around them. Guess what? We have a very strong community. From that community, we'll have other strong communities. And from those communities bounded together, we have a strong nation. We have a strong nation, we're building something. We're able to make a difference in the world. We're able to be a force of change in the world. We're not fragmented. So, but if we put all our resources all to international efforts or somewhere we don't even know, we can't even help in a proper fashion. Again, I'm not saying not to give them. I'm saying it. Remember the people around you, to build around you, to build a community around you, to work with each other. And what happens is when you help each other around you, you create love and unity. And one of the things that we're missing out in this ummah today, we have a severe lack of unity. You will see in any social media platform, if you just look at the Muslims' posts, everyone is fighting each other. Everyone is one-upping another. Everyone is more pious than the other one. Everyone is putting the other one down. Everyone is giving their fatwas and their dalils and their things against each other. Everyone has their own opinion. The platform, there's a hadith where at the end of time, the foolish young men will be speaking and they'll cause a lot of fitna. And some people were like, okay, well, we just won't allow them to speak. We won't give them the mimbar. No, there's no need for a mimbar. There's social media platforms. We have 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 21-year-olds going out and talking about the deen and saying things of their opinion and then having a following because, like-minded people like, yay, they don't have knowledge. They don't have insight. They don't have the foresight to see things at a bigger picture. But they're spewing and speaking very frequently and having a following. You see it everywhere. On every single platform, you'll find Muslims saying what they want to say without knowledge. So this hadith came true. We live at a time where everyone's saying whatever they want to say. In fact, it's even encouraged on the social media. The more you say, the more you'll be rewarded. So where's the mimbar? Those who were guarding the mimbar from the foolish young men, it has been taken from under their feet. There are people with less knowledge, less understanding, less wisdom, but they just know the game plan on how to run social media, and they have a greater following than those people who have real knowledge, than scholars who have real knowledge. That's the state we are in today. And so we have a great epidemic amongst ourselves in this ummah of disunity. If we were unified, there would not even have been a situation like this in Gaza or anywhere around the world if we were unified. The enemies, they treat us as one. They treat us unified, right? They want us to suffer and they put us in a situation because another Muslim somewhere around the world is suffering. They don't want us to succeed. When Pakistan was getting nuclear weapons, Israel was going to attack and prevent Pakistan from getting nuclear weapons. What does Israel have to do with Pakistan? They're so far away. They're not even close together in land. Why is Pakistan their enemy? The only reason why is because Pakistanis are Muslims. And they're afraid that if they do hanky-panky with Palestinians, the Pakistanis would rise up and say, stop, these are our brothers. They are more aware of our bond and brotherhood than we are ourselves. They're more afraid of it for us than we are keen to keep it. They attack all of us, Syria, Lebanon, Iran, Iraq, all around. They're planning to go Turkey and Jordan and all this stuff because they see us as a unified front. But we don't see ourselves as a unified front. We are scattered, fragmented, and they enjoy this. They need this. It is their greatest victory upon us, our disunity. That is where we are lacking the most. So when we give sadaqah, and look at how beautiful this situation is where Allah tells us, this brings about greater good. Everything that comes from Allah, every obligatory act that He tells us or any encouragement He tells us has a ripple effect beyond what we can understand, beyond what we can even benefit immediately from. It has effects, far-reaching effects. And so if we just trusted in Allah, and Allah says He loves those who trust Him. If we just trusted Him and did how He told us to do things, we would be in far better situation. And so when we take care of the people around us, we build unity, we build love, we build bond, we build care. Imagine some sister is suffering in your family, or you took care of your family is fine. Even if you didn't take care of them, they're fine. Imagine in your community a sister is suffering. And everybody in that community is rallying together to help her. How much love would she have for the community, and how much love would the community show for her? She would never leave the community. And because people are working to give and help her, they will love her too. Studies have shown that you are happiest when you're giving, not when you're getting, not when you're taking in. You feel more fulfilled and more happy when you're giving. And then if you are giving to someone you know, someone who has a face in front of you, someone you can speak to and check up on and say, okay, did this work for you? Do you need more? And so on. You have a relationship with them. There's far great benefit in that than to just give it somewhere in the unknown, somewhere around the world. And you build that bond and you build that family around you. You know, how many sisters go to masajids and they go to communities and they're churned out? They don't have a proper covering from the men, from the people, from the Muslims, from the Ummah. We have so many women suffering around us. So many of them, they're having difficulty to feed their children, difficulty to find a home, difficulty to find a spouse. So many of them have been treated badly by their spouse, and so on and so forth. And the list goes on. And they're suffering in silence. They have no expectation towards the Muslims around them. They have no expectations of good from the Muslims around them. They end up going to the kuffar and saying, please help me. Going to the government saying, please help me. And this can lead them to leaving Islam. This can cause them to be away from Islam because it wasn't the Muslims that helped them. And so within this, there is great, great wisdom for us to take care of our people, those around us, and it builds us, within us, unity. And we are in dire need of unity, dire need of helping each other, dire need of building each other up, loving each other, forgiving each other, being forbearing for each other, allowing each other space and personal choices. Sister, why did you do it this way? How dare you do it this way? No, leave her. Let her be. Let her be. Give her a chance to learn. Do you think she will learn by you pushing her down? Brother, why don't you have a beard yet? There's a story of a brother. He was coming to the masjid. He used to have a beard. And one day he cut his beard short. They took him outside and they twisted his arm and pushed him against the car. They thought it was funny. They thought, it's okay. We can deal with him because he comes to the masjid often. Why don't you have a beard, brother? What happened to your beard? Why'd you take off your beard? You falling into the dunya? What are you doing? What are you doing? This is the way we treat each other. We are supposed to be the people of great emotional intelligence. We are the people of Allah, the one who has the greatest wisdom. the one who is most compassionate, the most merciful, the most kind, the most loving, and the most just. We should reflect the attributes of Allah within our behavior with the people and within ourselves. To this day, that brother still doesn't have a beard because of those incidents. What good did that do? And that happened about 20 something years ago. What good did it do? It didn't do anything. Yes, it got their emotional, angst out. Okay, we told the brother, fear Allah. Now we did our job. Did you? Or did you make him run away from the deen? The same thing with sisters. So our focus should be in helping each other around us and to invite each other to good and to be forbearing and to be overlooking at people's small mistakes. Let them be. Let them be. Love your sister for the Islam that is in her. Remember this principle that we had before. We just read it. There is great evil in both the gambling and intoxicants, but benefit for some people, right? But the evil outweighs the benefit. When you see a sister who's not doing what she's supposed to be doing, but she's a Muslim and she came to the masjid and she's praying, guess what? She has greater benefit than the harm that is poking your eyes as you first see her, as soon as you see her. Go past that and say, look, she's a Muslimah, she came to the masjid, she's going to pray. There's greater benefit. Let me treat her with the love because of the benefit I see in her. Let me treat her with kindness because of the goodness that is in her. And I pray for the difficulty that she's in attaching herself for what Allah wants. I pray for it. Not any one of us is 100% on our game with Allah. Not any one of us is 100% with doing everything we're supposed to be doing with Allah. And let that be a reminder when you see someone. Where am I falling short? And is somebody seeing my shortcomings? Is somebody tolerating my shortcomings and being kind to me? And should I be fixing this? Should I be working on that? And if we are busy working on our shortcomings, we really don't have time to be judging other people in that way. I'm not saying that judging people is absolutely wrong, completely wrong. No, there is a way and a time to judge people, of course. But that's for a different time and different topic. The generality is today we are against each other very commonly. We put each other down very easily. It feels good. It makes us feel like a better Muslim. I ask Allah to grant us the ability to overlook our other people's mistakes and to give us greater wisdom and greater light. And greater light comes by applying what we know. When you apply what you know, what you have learned, and you immediately say, I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply it, then Allah gives you greater light. Right? It's like giving someone food. You give them food and they waste it. You don't give them any more food. But if you give them food and they eat it, then you give them more food. You want to feed them some more. So if Allah's given you some light, He's given you some understanding, He gives you an aha moment in understanding the deen, take it and apply it. Hold on to it. Make it part of your life as much as you can. And if you fall short, you slip up, it's okay, come back. Every day is a new day. There is never a downtime. You fell, it's okay, no problem. Get up and keep walking. Don't feel too bad about it. Get up and keep walking. You know better, you do better. And then you will get greater light, inshallah. May Allah grant us great light and grant us the ability to apply what we know. If there's any questions, I'll take it now. If not, Jazakallah khair, Sister Azrata. May Allah reward you as well. If not, we'll end it here. Jazakallah khair. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Okay, yes, sister, you have a question.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Rafat. Sister Rafat, could you just clarify, where is the line between Nahi al Munkar and having Husn Zan and giving a room for your sister to grow? There are some situations where you don't understand, like if you don't say something, speak something, will Allah hold you accountable? Or what should be our barometer to take, keep quiet or take an action? Hello?
Okay, if I understand your question correctly, you're asking if you see someone doing something wrong, what should you do? Is that the question?
Yes, yes, yes.
So the matter of seeing someone doing something wrong. No, you have to weigh it at that point. You have to see whether this is going to bring greater benefit or greater harm. To give dawah, one must have wisdom, right? And somebody will say, well, the Prophet ﷺ said, if you see something, you must stop it by your hand, and if you can't, then you must stop it by your mouth, and if you can't, then you must hate it in your heart, and that's the weakest of faith. And so I saw someone doing something wrong, so I'm going to go and stop them by my hand because I have the greatest of faith. And if not, I'm going to shout at them and tell them it's wrong because then that's the next level of faith. And if not, I'm going to hate them because that is the weakest of faith. And that's not, I mean, that's a wrong application of doing that. And there is a correct application of doing that. But that is under the wisdom of understanding what it is you're saying, who it is you're saying to, and what the surrounding time is, what is happening. An advice given in an ill moment, in an ill time to the wrong person can cause greater harm. And this is a nuance that has to be learned. This is required for us to learn our deen. And when you learn your deen and you learn more, you will know when to say what and what to say at a certain time. Even when Allah sent down the prohibition of intoxicants, even when He said this is haram and this is a great evil in it, right? There is so much harm in it. He sent it out in stages. He didn't give it right away. Stop. Oh, you're going to the hellfire immediately. The first ruling on intoxicants was that He told us that there is good in it and there is evil in it, but the evil is greater. He didn't say stop immediately. The next and the next and the next, until He said, don't come to salah with it. And when He said, don't come to salah, there were people were standing at the masjid telling people after the adhan, don't come to the masjid if you are intoxicated. Do not come to the masjid if you're. So it is, in stages, slowly helping the people. The greater the attachment to something, the harder it is for someone to let go. And when you remove that attachment from that thing to an attachment to Allah, then it becomes easier for them to let go of those things. So you have to get to know the person. You have to know where are they in their position with Allah. If they have a very small attachment, a very weak attachment to Allah, and you come out and you start saying haram, haram, not you, of course, I'm saying someone says haram, haram, that's going to make them even weaker in their attachment to Allah. I just came to the masjid, and the one time I tried to do something for Allah, and this is what the people treat me, this is what Islam is about. I don't want to come anymore. So it takes wisdom to impart wisdom. And this is something we should learn over time. If you are in doubt, just pray for them. If you are in doubt of whether you saying something can cause harm or can bring about benefit, pray for them. And ask Allah to guide them and to give you strength into and greater light and greater wisdom for you to apply and be able to help the people. And it may be that if you tell someone something, it will help them, it will benefit them. And it may be something that they were looking for. And if you say it to them in a gentle manner and you say it to them in a way, say, sister, I really love for you what I love for myself. And if I was doing something wrong, I really would love someone to tell me, because ultimately it's my relationship with Allah that matters to me the most over everything. And I'm assuming, as you as my Muslim sister, you are the same like me, because I love you and, we are all one together. I just noticed that this is what was happening. And I thought the correct way was this way. And if we want, we can look at it, the proofs together. We can look at the evidence together. If you have a difference of opinion, we can share. Maybe you can show me where you think this is correct. Approach them in a nice and beautiful manner. We are not allowed to talk to people like a debate system, like, I got you, kapow. A lot of these debates you see online, this is wrong. This is not dawah. Allah says to call to Islam with wisdom, with good speech. Is it good speech? Putting someone down? And in these debates we see online, sometimes even insulting them, making them feel bad, putting them like, aha, Islam is superior. Of course, we know Islam is superior. We don't have to smack people down. We don't have to show them a smackdown for them to like we're giving dawah. That's dawah. No, with wisdom, with kindness, with gentleness. The Prophet didn't smack down anyone, and he is the best of examples. And anytime you see anyone giving dawah, refer back to the Prophet. Did he do it that way? Did the prophets and messengers do it that way? Today we have a lot of people doing things their own way. And Allah has given us the example. He already gave us the example. So our job is to always check. Did the Prophet do it this way? Did the prophets mentioned in the Quran and the messengers mentioned in the Quran, are they like that? Are they like that? Are they sectarians? Are they saying you this and you are labeling this person this and you are that and you are this the way the Muslim Ummah is doing today? They didn't. Allah says in the Quran, every group is rejoicing in what it has. Every group is just acting like they are the better group. And He calls against sectarianism. Call yourselves Muslims. Don't go and start labeling other people and labeling yourselves beyond what is Muslim. So we see a lot of things today, and it's required for us to go back and see what is the Prophet ﷺ, what was his stance on those things, and what was his way of talking to people, and what was his way in dealing with people. And that is what's required of us. So I'll end it here now. Inshallah, jazakallah khair. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.